You know, the 1978 Super Bowl between the Dallas Cowboys and the Denver Broncos, there was a lot going on here. Former Dallas Cowboy number one starter Craig Morton, who lost his job to Roger Staubach when he won their first Super Bowl against the Dolphins in '72, started for Denver, but he had probably one of the worst Super Bowl efforts of all time, and basically was almost killed by the Doomsday defense. But the guy that replaced him in the game, and if he would have given more of the contest, maybe it would have been a closer score. This guy unfortunately passed away at a young age of bone cancer at age 43, but Norris Weese is more than just a one-hit wonder. He had good quality in his scrambling and his abilities, and were not for a bad injury when he was named number one for Denver in '79, he would have had an excellent career. Now, born Norris Lee Weese, he was Cajun in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, was a pro-American football quarterback in two leagues. He came to major recognition as a star quarterback for Chalmette High School and University of Mississippi. He had the unenviable task of succeeding Mississippi quarterback legend Archie Manning, but performed well in the key position. Recalling the November 4th, '72 game in Baton Rouge, in which Ole Miss lost to Louisiana State University 17-16 because of a unique touchdown catch from quarterback Burt Jones to LSU running back Brad Davis, we said Tiger Stadium just exploded with thousands of fans jumping high in the night air. Until that point, the Rebels had outplayed LSU all night long. Now, a good size for a quarterback, 6'1", 195. Eventually taken in round 4 of the '74 draft and '99 pick. Now, Weese played the '74 season for the Hawaiians in the World Football League before joining the NFL. He spent 4 seasons in the NFL playing for the Broncos, mostly as a backup. Now, in Super Bowl 12 against the Cowboys, where his famed high school head coach Bobby Nuss held the chains, Weese replaced starter Craig Morton in the third quarter after Morton nearly threw his 5th interception. He fumbled a couple of times too. Weese led the Broncos to a touchdown and a drive to cut his team's deficit to 2010, but he lost a fumble in the fourth quarter, setting up a Dallas touchdown from Newhouse to Richards that put the game away. He was known for being a mobile quarterback. Now, Weese was named starting quarterback for the Broncos in '79, but a knee injury that year ended his NFL career. He finished his career with 1,887 passing yards, 7 touchdowns, and 14 interceptions. Now, after retirement, he went on to become a certified public accountant in Denver. Now, Weese unfortunately died of bone cancer on January 20th, 1995. A big loss to the football community. Now, to this day, he holds the record for most single-game rushing yards as a quarterback in Broncos history, rushing for 120 yards on 12 carries against the Bears on December 12th, '76. Like I said, a very good scrambling quarterback. The only problem with Weese, again, he wasn't given enough time to beat a player he could have been. So we look at the rough stats, ladies and gentlemen. Again, played in Mississippi and all those campaigns. A very strong career. With Ole Miss in 71, his rookie campaign, actually I call that the Plunkett year, he played 11 games, had 125 attempts, 488 yards rushing, and 72, 10 games, 154 attempts, 552 yards rushing, and 73, again, 43 attempts, 181 yards rushing. Now, in these 3 seasons, 56 for 102 in 71, 77 for 163 in 72 with 11 touchdowns, prone to interceptions, of course, and 73, 32 for 55, and again, only 2 touchdowns. Now, had 5 rushing touchdowns in all 3 seasons with Ole Miss. Now, in the NFL, 1976, 24 completions on 47 attempts, 1 touchdown, and a rough 6 interceptions. 77, 11 for 20, and of course, with 1 touchdown, no interceptions. 78, won his first start. 55 for 87, and 79, 53 for 97. So In 4 years, 143 for 251, 7 touchdowns, and 14 yards rushing. Now, the adjusted passing, ladies and gentlemen, but this where it plays out rushing and receiving. 362 yards rushing in 57 games for a 5.2 average. So, and he also actually did some punting as well for the Broncos as well. So, a multifaceted player. So, Norris Weese, the YouTube of the game is out there. And like I said, that's the second half of the Denver-Dallas Super Bowl belongs to Weese. We know Roger Staubach was out for a little while. Danny White took most of the snaps. But again, we were not for that fumble. That was a big deficit because Dallas could have easily led 19-0, but the 6 points that were lost on two missed field goal attempts by Herrera. Now, Weese really appealed to us in Canada because he had a CFL-style quarterback, and a lot of people thought if it didn't work out with Denver and like John Elway was just a pipe dream at that time. We knew Craig Morton had the quality, but didn't have the mobility of Weese. With the Dallas defense, the Dallas defense had a hard time in the second half, and he could move the ball. But the problem is if he would have kept him in a CFL-style offense for that second half, I think he would have done a lot better. And that game wasn't done after the first half. It was only 13-0. But like I say, Craig Morton just basically shit the bed in that match. But his time with the Hawaiians, too, that's kind of interesting because, to my knowledge, I don't know of any former World Football League player ever played at that level in the Super Bowl, besides the like what they call the crossovers. Now, interesting about the Hawaiians, ladies and gentlemen, they played 2 seasons and they were considered one of the marquee squads teams in the league. The first season, he went 9-11 and went 4-7-1 in 75. The home stadium was Honolulu Stadium in 74, and the Aloha Stadium in 75. The best known player besides Weese to play for the Hawaiians was former Dallas Cowboy running back Calvin Hill. The quarterback Jim Fassel became better known as head coach decades later. The Hawaiians head coach was Michael Giddings, who guided the Hawaiians in 74 and 75. Now, ironically, ladies and gentlemen, they made it to the semifinals of the 74 World Bowl, as we call it, and but they were, like I said, they were quite good. So Norris Weese, for people that were Dallas fans back in the day and Denver fans, we have great affection for him because, we never thought someone that playing the Super Bowl, there was so much potential here, but injuries, like I said, caught up with him. So it's just how it goes. So that's the story of the late, great Norris Weese. If you like what you're doing here with our Denver Broncos tribute podcast, let us know with a like, comment, subscribe, or share. Bye.